Hey guys, Marcel LeBlanc here, Certified Financial Planner, and today I want to talk to you guys about incorporating a business, incorporating, as a self-employed individual. So when and why does someone incorporate? So I want to start off by mentioning that I am not an accountant, I am not a lawyer, I'm just talking from experience and my own personal knowledge that I've acquired over the years on this subject. So a corporation, at the end of the day, is a separate entity from yourself, the individual, or the owners of such corporation. So what you're doing is creating something other than yourself, its own entity, to be taxed, to generate income, and to run monetarily and fiscally on its own. So this does two things. It covers you on the liability side. So when you're talking about liabilities, you're talking about when a company has debt, obligations, staff, and generally just a lot of risk. You might want to consider having a barrier between yourself and that business risk. So by being incorporated, separating the business from yourself, you can manage to do that. So most what I would call businesses with staff and overhead and partners will probably incorporate right off the bat so that they can set up a share structure and carry on their operations as a corporation. The second side of why one would incorporate is the tax side, because corporations, the tax code permits certain things with corporations, certain flexibilities, and preferential treatment sometimes that an individual generating income for himself can't do, right? So the person who owns a corporation can decide how they want to get, what kind of income they want to generate for themselves from their company. A person who owns ownership in a corporation can choose to pay themselves with an income, a salary, dividends, do a whole bunch of stuff with shares. So it gives you flexibility on the tax side. Now, other than businesses, there's the self-employed individual where there's not a big operation behind them. It's them, a cell phone, and a car. So not a lot of liabilities, but you can still take advantage from the tax side of the equation. And the sweet spot, or what I call the tipping point of when a self-employed individual should incorporate or not, it's pretty much purely for tax reasons, but it's when you earn more than you need to support your lifestyle. So if you make $100,000 and spend $100,000 to support your lifestyle, there's no real advantage to incorporating, right? Or probably not much. But if you make $200,000 and only need to spend $100,000, you can leave the $100,000 in your company that you didn't need to pay yourself, and it can stay in there and will likely be taxed more preferably than if you were to get taxed the whole $200,000 personally. So there's that, and as mentioned before, you can choose how, if you want to get paid by dividend, personally paid from your company in dividends or salary. So an accountant can help you decide how to structure your corporation and how to structure your income. So there is a tipping point as far as how much income justifies incorporating, because there are costs involved, right? So as a self-employed individual, you got to look at that sweet spot, that tipping point, before you leap into incorporating. So if you have any questions regarding this, taxes, or anything financial planning, visit marcelleblanc.ca, and remember that my advice is free and it always will be. Cheers, guys.